You ever feel like this guy? No matter what you do, how early you wake up, how much coffee you drink, you still can't get past that creative block. So what can you do to get that fire started again and get inspired? Well, we're going to take a look at a few things that can help you, and to do that we're going to look at 5 different types of artists. Vern, the writer, Quentin, the filmmaker, Steve, the photographer, Pablo, the illustrator, and Hans, the composer. Before we start, make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, but now, let's get you inspired. The blank white page, the most dreaded of any writer, whether you write novels, screenplays, blogs, etc. That blank page seems to just stare at you, and no matter what you do, you can't figure out how to formulate a sentence for the life of you. So, what can you do? Just write. Most of the time when the blank white page holds you back, it's not because you can't think of anything, it's because you can't get the billions of ideas in your head into words, sentences, plots, in any cohesive order. So just spill out that smoothie of randomness that's going on in your head and put it on paper. Deal with it later. Just let all of your ideas flow out of order and even without punctuation or grammar. Step away and read your favorite book. Sometimes you need to step away from your ideas and read someone else's. This allows your brain to rest, and who knows, maybe in the middle of reading, you might get a little spark of imagination and boom, you're back to writing. Read your own work. Although this can be kind of scary and a little bit cringy, sometimes if you look back at your accomplishments, it's the best thing you can do to see what you have, your potential. You've done this already, and then figure out what you want to work on and what you can change and what you want to try. This in turn can clear up the brain fog that's going on in your head and get you back on track. Filmmaking is already hard as it is, and if you're doing it alone, it's even worse. This goes hand in hand in writing, but once you have an idea, sometimes it's hard to get out of your house and go film, or even stay in your house and film, especially if you have nowhere special to go or anyone to film with. So what can you do? Watch a movie. Now, I know this might sound more like procrastination than motivation, but sit down and watch a movie, your favorite movie if you want, and look at it as a filmmaker, not as a general audience. You know, pick it apart, see where they did things wrong, see different camera shots, different angles that you would like to try, and that can be a really big source of inspiration as well. That was a green screen. I saw it. Watch behind the scenes. This is even more inspirational because you actually get the on-set experience and see how they really truly did it instead of just guesstimating it. And in that process, you may realize that some of the stuff they do is pretty simple and even you could possibly do it. And it's always nice seeing the equipment that you can't afford. Enter contests. If your problem is that you can't come up with an idea or you're really just stuck with writer's block as we talked about before, enter a contest. The challenges are already preset, the theme is usually preset, and sometimes they even give you the footage and the music. There's always a small or big competition going on, so go for it. Accept the challenge and hey, you might get paid for it too. You are an iPhone Instagram photographer legend. Or you're a bougie vintage film camera photographer. Or you're even just a wishful National Geographic world-renowned award-winning photographer. No matter where you take photos or what you use, you still have those days where you come home with 2 or 3 bogus photos and you hate yourself. What can you do? Let go of your camera. Alright, I know this is hard, but for once in your life, give it a break. Stop taking pictures of everything you eat for breakfast with the hashtag blessed. Sorry, Instagram photographers, they just trigger me. But seriously, go for a hike, take a walk without your camera, because you might be more inspired. I know that sounds crazy, but you see the world through your eyes, not through the eyes of a camera. Personally, I know that whether it's events or even just on hikes, I've missed a lot of really beautiful things because I'm so focused on taking pictures of other things. So once you get out there without your camera, you're probably gonna see some stuff that you wanna take photos of. Mark that down, remember that location, and you might find yourself going back to it the next day with your camera. Give yourself a challenge. You could either set a 30-day photography challenge or a specific theme or style that you want to try out personally. If you just focus on that, then you'll have something constant to do every single day or every single month, and you'll never be bored. Whatever medium you use, whether it's pencil, paint, pastels, digital, spray paint, pancakes, you're always gonna hit the same thing that the writers do, the blank white page, or canvas if you're a painter. It stares into your soul and you just don't know what to do about it. So what can you do? Watch other artists. Something that I personally like to do is go on YouTube and watch speed art videos or time lapses of other people doing their artwork. Watching someone else do what you aspire to do can be both motivational and depressing at the same time. So make sure when you're watching it with the intent of doing something yourself, and if not, then you might get discouraged instead of encouraged. Look back at your work. Take a look at your older artwork and look for two things: your potential and your mistakes. Your potential can show you what you've already done and what you know that you can do, and kind of inspire you yourself. You inspire yourself saying, hey, I've done that before, I can do it again. And your mistakes can show you what you messed up on and what you want to try and improve in your next piece of art. And if you put those two things together, you'll probably get inspired to do something even better. As a composer or a musician, you always have music flowing through your head based on what you like to play. It could be rock and roll, 80s, classical, movie soundtrack, electronic, or some weird band that no one else in the world has ever heard of. But when you sit down to play or compose, there's dead silence. What can you do? Listen to your specific favorite songs. Instead of putting your 728 song, 47-hour playlist on shuffle, choose specific songs that you know personally will inspire you. Listen to it as a group of songs, as an album, or a specific artist that you know whatever they do is just gonna inspire you. Just mess around. Some of my best compositions and pieces that I've ever made have been just me sitting down at the piano and playing random keys and notes and chords just for the fun of it. So you too, have fun with it, play around, do random stuff. No one's gonna care unless you live with somebody and they think your stuff is gross, but no one's gonna care. Just play around, make stuff up as you go. Try doing a cover or a remix. When things are already done for us, sometimes it makes it easier for us to complete it. There are about 10 million songs out there that you can choose to play as a cover or remix it with your own style. A lot of people like things that are completely reimagined, and so if you reimagine it in your own style or a different genre of music, somebody's gonna love it. I'm gonna show you a quick clip of probably the most inspirational thing I've ever seen in my life. If you're still uninspired by the end of this video, well, I don't know what to tell you. But I do hope this helped you in any way it could. Personally, like I said earlier, I did go through a point where I was completely uninspired for like a month. Anytime I wanted to do something, I just couldn't get my head to do it, and I couldn't get up to do it. But I put all these steps that I told you into effect, and they helped me get back on my feet. So get out there and do something incredible. And if you do, we would love to hear from you. So please leave a comment below, leave a like, let us know if any of this did help you, and we would love to hear it. It'd mean the world to us. Also, let's try and get this channel to 100 subscribers. Every 100 subscribers, I'm planning on doing a Q&A, so maybe that's a little bit of motivation for you. But until I see you next time, keep it simple and stay creative.
Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down.